Welcome back, all of you duelists and dungeon crawlers alike. It's time for another Yu-Gi-Oh! D&D here on Casual Duelist. So, rather than fully do something from scratch, I figured this week I would actually share something that our DM actually created for me, which is kind of crazy, considering the fact he's teaching me and 7 other players all at the same time how to play this game. So, big shout outs to you, Pete. Um, Through the course of creating this campaign for all of us, he took each of our different interests and he actually created magical items for each of us. Now, when my character finally got his, what did I get? I was given 4 cards. Again, he knows I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh player. He kind of enjoys that fact because, again, he loves the art and everything. But he gave me 4 cards, and now he gave me the task of choosing them. And out of the 4, I've only ever used one of them. But how do they work? What are they? And which one am I going to talk about today? I'm going to talk about the only one I got to use. So, what they were was you were given 4 cards. Sorry, so sort of a small deck, and instead of being like a normal deck of whatever from Dungeons and Dragons, it's not drawn at random. These are essentially like a weapon or an enchanted item. I get to use them at will, but they are considered consumable. So when I do use it, I lose it. So it just gets used for my inventory. So that's 100% fine. So the one I did get to use, and it actually saved us on our build up to the boss of the castle, was the Swords of Revealing Light. So how did we adapt this card to D&D? It's actually kind of easy. First off, we read the effect. So flip all monsters the opponent controls face up. This card remains on the field for 3 of the opponent's turns. While this card is face up on the field, monsters the opponent control cannot declare an attack. So, what does that mean in D&D? Well, since they are revealing light, if we would have been somewhere dark, he would have allowed us to light up between 30 and 60 feet worth of the dungeon in an area around the center of the effect. So again, not that this is to scale or anything, but like, let's say that I had a bunch of tiles here, and it's really just like 2 guys that were fighting, and they're 2 big guys that were like here. We would be able to light up like the entire area around them, so we'd be able to see what's going on. Again, we probably wouldn't be able to hide ourselves, but that's fine. And rather than giving us 3 turns of uninterrupted attacks, he gave us a nice little variable option. Sorry. And the way he did it was, of course, in traditional D&D fashion. He gave us a D20. He said, real quick, now that you've used your Swords of Revealing Light, now we need to determine how potent it is. So he's going to give us 1 to 2 turns based on whether or not we can DC 10 or higher. So again, we roll the dice, we get a 13. Since that's 10 or more, we're going to get 2 turns. And again, just for simplistic sake, rather than a whole bunch of razzle-dazzle, we basically use those 2 turns as a bunch of speed turns. So essentially, everybody just picks a bad guy, and you just chunk away the hit points real quick, and you try to help alleviate what's going on in the dungeon at the time. Now, maybe you don't want to roll a d20 because maybe that's, I don't know, annoying to you. Pick any of them. It doesn't matter. You can literally get a coin at this point, because what we're doing is it's basically we need a 50-50 odds. So evens and odds is good. If you want to say 1, 2, and 3, or 1 through 3. I wanted to say both at the same time. It wasn't working. Too excited. And then, 3 or lower is 1. And then 4 and higher is 2 turns. Again, boom, this time we're only going to get 1 turn of it. It just depends on the flavor of the moment. But again, it was good. It was fun. And again, incredibly difficult to be teaching 8 different people all the basic stuff while also making magical items on the fly for them to enjoy. So again, things that we can do with Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And again, I just wanted to show you guys the Swords of Revealing Light and that way that we used it. Other ways to use it would be, and this would be fun, is maybe using it as a trap that has been set up in the dungeon. So again, if you're the DM, feel free to use the Swords of Revealing Light, even though it feels more like the Heroes card than something that would trap you. Think about it. If you're in a cave, if you're in a dark dungeon below the castle, and you're the DM and you've got these traps set up and you have monsters, but there's not dark vision, what might happen is intruders might trigger a set of Swords of Revealing Light. And again, you might roll a d4 this time instead, and you might say like, well, I'm going to take my d4 and whatever I roll, that's how many turns you guys are all going to be imprisoned. Or you could do a dexterity check. So like we're going to say, boom, it lasts 4 turns. Everybody needs to do a DC 12 dexterity in order to avoid being pinned. So again, this character would get pinned. This character would get pinned. That character would get pinned. This character would be fine. So out of those 4 players, one of them is able to move, but again, he's not able to hide because they are revealing light. So again, it's a big disadvantage. So again, this does not have to be just for the players. This could be something for a DM as well. And this could make an excellent trap or just like a little bit of a barrier. You could also like augment it instead of it being 3 turns, maybe it's 3 days. They need to find something to do for 3 days or a way to disenchant the swords, which could be just as simple as hiding something else that's enchanted nearby. Think of it as like a light switch in the lights. And again, this might allow them to be able to just kind of get through some area that you didn't exactly want them to get to quite yet. And again, it could be that they need to progress 3 levels in order for the swords to disappear. Guys, your imagination is the limit with this. It's just another great card from Yu-Gi-Oh! And another great way to just multiple ways of adapting this. So I don't know how to subtitle this one. This one's just going to be, as you saw, it's just going to be the Swords of Revealing Light. So I do hope that you guys enjoyed this one. And if you have, do consider a like and a comment. Subscribe only if we've earned it today. And if you guys have an idea or you want to request to see if I can make something work for D&D from Yu-Gi-Oh!, just go ahead. Ask away in the comment section. It's what it's for, my friends. And if it's fun or challenging, I'm probably going to go after it, all right? But for now, enjoy the rest of your day, my friends. We are going to go ahead and take tomorrow off. And I'll see you guys on the weekend, all right? So see you guys Saturday. And have a great one. Later.